One of my viewers asked me if I can watch this video. It's called Why Finland Schools Outperform Most Others Across the Developed World. Now, I have watched some videos on the Finnish education system before. It is very impressive. I like how it's organised, how it's structured. Even something as simple as having the trust in starting children at the age of 7 a little bit later than some other countries. Like in the UK, we start children in primary school at 5. But I like that Finland just allows children to be children for a bit longer. It's not so stressful, pressurised. And yeah, I just want to learn more about the system. Tell me what you think about the Finnish school system. How was it for you and your experience? And let's watch this.
It's 8 a.m. on a cold morning in the suburbs of Helsinki, and these primary school children are getting ready for class. This morning's lesson, ancient history.
Well, they are reading with pairs some text about Egyptian ancient life. They are reading, and then I'm gonna ask something, what did they find out from the book?
See, even something like that, something so simple. But I don't remember doing this when I was at school. It was pretty much every class is you sit at your desk, you listen to the teacher talking, and they just teach that way. This is like very interactive. They're not just developing their knowledge of the subject, in this instance like ancient history, but they're also developing their communication skills, teamwork, working together. This is also like a very nice collaborative way of learning as well. And having that part after this where the teacher asks them questions just to test them on what they've learned. So it's like really pushing that learning. Even something so simple like that, I really appreciate it actually.
The book. I think we all are ready now.
This is a school system that for years has been among the world's best.
And then what about this gold one? Yeah, Minttu, please.
Ja miehetkin molemmat on käyttänyt meikkiä.
And yet these kids will spend half as much time in a classroom as Australian children.
Whoa, half as much time? That just shows you that, and it's the same in the workplace to an extent as well, that you don't always have to be there for longer to get the most out of it, to be the most efficient in the case of school, to learn the most. Sometimes if you're at school for a lot longer, like here in Asia, the children go to school for like 9 hours a day, and most parents will send their children to tuition after school. It's just an overload actually when children are so young. I don't think it's healthy for them to try and take in so much. It's not very conducive to a good learning environment or learning structure, in my opinion.
When you go to the first grade, when you are 7 years old, the amount of hours is 20 hours a week. It's the minimum. And then it gets more hours the older you get, but it's still less than in many countries in Europe or in the world.
In Finland, it's individual teachers who decide how the curriculum is taught, including how much technology should feature in their classrooms.
Me tehdään sellaista pyramidiprojektia, missä nyt me kirjoitetaan hieroglyfeillä meidän nimet paperille ja sitten me tehdään classroomista tehtäviä.
Again, even something like that is very fun, it's very engaging for the children. It's not just read the book, answer the questions. They're doing something like interactive and like different as well. So whereas the learning can still be done around that, even just doing the hieroglyphs is like something exciting, and it's also good for their creativity and other aspects of their learning as well. I actually am very impressed by this already, just from this small part.
11-year-old Minttu Latumaki asks to leave class to work at the school's own student-run cafe.
You can go, yeah.
Really? Can do that?
Shut your books down.
Okay, that one I definitely have never seen in the UK. I feel like in the UK, definitely some children would abuse that. They would say they're going to go and do something, and they would just mess about. So actually also already show that Finnish children seem to be more responsible, have that trust as well. And I know that trust is a big part of the Finnish culture.
Hello. One cake for the cameraman, one cake for me, and 2 coffees. How much is it?
€2 and 60 cents.
Decent
How much
price.
change?
€2 and 40 cents.
Petos. Perfect. Is there a tip jar? Do you have tips?
No.
No tips. Okay. In Finland, school lunches, like books and excursions, are free. The kids select what they want, sit down with their friends and teachers to eat before they clean up after themselves.
Again, that is something I've learned before about the Finnish lunch system, and I was very impressed. I mean, the fact it's free is brilliant because, I mean, it means that everybody's equal. You don't have like the less well-off kids who are maybe living in poverty eating less than kids who have more money. Everybody's equal and they all get like a healthy meal, and that's the thing as well, it's the food itself. It is healthy, hearty food. Again, go to like the UK, it's a lot of like processed food, or it was when I went to school anyway. This just is a much better offering for the children.
The children rug up again to play outside. Some play a raucous version of soccer.
Oh, that
Some
does look
play
a bit
basketball, while others wait for the hockey rink to open.
Nice.
There
What do they do on there?
of
Just
options
ice skating or play actual hockey?
for bad weather days too.
The facilities in this school are just amazing. Outside, we saw an ice skating rink, and in here, where the kids can play at lunchtime, there's a ping pong table, a pool table, and in here, for the cold winter days, they've got a room full of bean bags and couches, and there's even a PlayStation in the corner.
Wow. Is this normal? Is every school like this? Or is this just like quite an affluent school, something like that? I mean, that looks quite brilliant,
It
actually.
seems like it's such a rich school, you must get more money than other schools.
No, we don't. It saves money for everyone, actually. They take and borrow books.
In Finland, schools are not allowed to raise private funds or to charge fees from parents. All schools are equitably funded from taxation.
And in our system, everything is free for the students, actually. We don't collect any money from the parents.
We want our schools to be equal and have the equal opportunities to arrange the education. So therefore also the finance system need to be equal and treat equally all the schools.
Brilliant. I love that as well. Equality is so important for children. I mean, growing up in Glasgow in Scotland, there was definitely inequality with children. Some people were very poor, some had a bit more money and stuff, and that was reflected in what they could do in school and stuff like that. What about even things like school trips, field trips? Do you have to pay for them in Finland?
Tulee 16.
Mintu Latomaki's older brother Levi is in year 7, and this afternoon he's got maths.
We have like the last chapter before we have the next exam.
There are regular exams in Finland, but the results of these tests are not published and shared.
We have national tests, but the big difference is we don't compare schools that this is not good school, this is bad school. We just use the information that we evaluate ourselves.
But perhaps the single biggest difference in Finnish education is the standard of teaching. Levi's maths teacher, Una Arnes, speaks 5 languages and has postgraduate qualifications.
So every one of us, we have to have a master's degree to be teachers. So like, for example, me, I'm math and chemistry and physics teacher.
In Finland, a career as a teacher is highly sought after.
To enter the studies in university, actually, it's really hard. They take something like 10% to study teaching. If you really want to be a teacher, it can't be your second or third or I don't know what kind of option. It has to be your first.
I believe that they know what is the best for our children. I'm not a teacher, I don't have that education, so we don't interfere their work.
Yeah, that's really good as well. Like, that's one thing I've noticed with Finland, the barrier to entry for important jobs like this, whether it's being a teacher, being in the police, is really high. You have to be very well qualified, have like a high education level, have to go through a lot of training and stuff like that as well. So like it's just better overall for society to have people in these positions who are like very educated and very well trained people.
In Finland, there's little anxiety about finding the right school for your child.
We trust that they have very good school, so we don't need to do any research work or...
I think that is not a question
No,
in
no.
Finland.
Yeah, I like that as well because, yeah, as I said, I live in Malaysia. My son is 4, so he'll be starting school within the next couple of years. But we really have to do a lot of research, looking at private schools, international schools, comparing the teachers, comparing the curriculums, doing a lot. We can't really trust it. Or we can just put him anywhere and he's going to get the best level of education. So it actually requires a lot of work and there's a big risk as well. It costs a lot of money. So we have to make sure it's perfect for him and going to be a conducive environment for him to learn. I love that in Finland you don't have to worry about anything like that. You just put them anywhere and know they're going to get a pretty good level of education.
Finland is a vastly different country with a tiny, homogenous society. But its education success must surely offer some lessons for Australia.
I would like to say that try to build the system that you trust the people.
And its investment in teachers seems an obvious place to begin.
The society respects the teachers. It means also the parents respect the teachers and they don't question the teachers. And that's in Finland a really huge thing.
Really good. Yeah, that was actually pretty good. A very concise little documentary there, and very interesting to get a deeper understanding of the Finnish school system, education system. I mean, if I had to compare to the UK, definitely is a lot better in pretty much every area. So if you're from Finland, tell me what you think about the Finnish education system. Do you think it's the best in the world? What are the good points? Is there any bad points about it? Tell me in the comments. Thanks.